Hey, welcome to Satisfied Personal Finance. Today I'm going to talk about a stock that I just recently increased my position in, and it is none other than Apple. And I'm going to tell you all about why I bought Apple and some of the reasons that you should consider adding it to your portfolio too. But before we continue, I think we need some disclaimers. Okay, you heard him. I should tell you some disclaimers before we begin. So before we continue, please note that this is not personal financial advice, and if you buy anything as a result of viewing my videos and you lose money, don't come look for me. If you gain some money and want to share, I'm more than happy to take some from you. In around November, when the price was about 157, I actually told a friend that Apple can buy for reasons that I'll state later in this video. But I procrastinated and I sat on it, and then it went to all-time highs in December. But recently it went down again, and I bought at 164 and then some more at 160 just before the most recent earnings call came out. And luckily I did that because the earnings surpassed most expectations and Apple is now trading 170 and above. So I think I will continue to increase my position because I'm quite convinced that Apple will do quite well in the next 3 to 5 years. And here are the reasons why I think it will outperform other companies in the near future. Now, Apple has a very strong core product offering, and of course we all know that it is the iPhone company, and with the strong sales of iPhone, it also bolsters its services segment, and its services segment is growing quarter on quarter and becoming extremely lucrative for the company. Now, that's not the only thing that is growing for the company, because other product categories, with the exception of iPad, which didn't do that well this quarter, everything else actually rose year on year to reach new sales highs, and that includes the Apple Watch, other wearables like AirPods, and of course their latest Macs, which have their own proprietary silicon which outperforms the industry. Now, even without releasing new product categories, I think that Apple product offerings are strong enough and compelling enough that they will remain a consumer staple for the next couple of years or so. iPhone is doing well in Europe and iPhone is doing well in China, and iPhone is doing well pretty much anywhere in the world. And Apple can continue to innovate and release new models, and it hasn't even released things like a new folding iPhone. Its competitors, of course, have tried to beat them to the market, but we know that Apple isn't always the first, but Apple usually is the best. It will come in with a compelling reason. And if Apple releases a folding phone, you can bet your last dollar that it will sell really well, because consumers don't care about first, they care about good, they care about brand, and Apple is nothing but good and has a strong brand to count on. A lot of people say that Apple cannot innovate anymore, but they don't really know what the definition of innovate means. Innovate means to take something and make it better, and that's what Apple continually does to its product. This is how Apple rose, according to Apple analyst John Gruber, who really knows his stuff. And Apple's MO is to take existing products and make them better and better each year until they become so compelling that their competitors are often struggling to compete with. Now, remember how iPhone killer used to be a term and every other Android phone was hailed to be iPhone killer? The iPhone is not cute, and neither will things like Apple Watch or iPad or its Macs ever be cute, because Apple continues to elevate its products year on year, and that is innovation. Now look at the first iPhone. It didn't have copy-paste, it didn't have MMS, it didn't even have 3G when every other phone had it. But look at the iPhone now, right? We can see the year-on-year growth of iPhone, and that's how Apple rose. Every year, it increases its products, offerings, and features until it is something that you cannot resist and consumers will buy. And I remember having the first generation Apple Watch. A lot of people thought it was pointless. They were asking me, what's the good of this device? It's quite useless, right? And I have to admit, it was kind of slow at the start, but look at Apple Watch now. It is a growing market that Apple dominates, and people who were laughing at me for getting an Apple Watch are now wearing an Apple Watch themselves. Now, if you want a free Apple share that's worth more than 200 over Sing dollars right now, go and sign up for Moomoo or Tiger using one of my links below and follow the instructions, and you'll get a free Apple share that you can sell or you can hold on to, and I'll advise you to hold on to because of my reasons in this video. The next reason why I think Apple will do very well over the next few years is because of its upcoming product pipeline. Now, we already know that Apple is going to release an AR or VR goggles. That's almost a done deal now. The rumor mill is rarely wrong, and with such strong rumors, we can expect a new product to be launched either this year or next. And as with most Apple products, it would sell like mad. Tim Cook has mentioned before that Apple's entire product offering can be placed on a single table, and that's quite remarkable if you think about it. They choose very few product categories to enter, and when they enter it, they make sure that they do a really good job of making it compelling so that it will sell. Anything that sells in the low millions is of no interest to Apple. Apple is in it to sell millions and millions of a product category. So if it enters the AR category, you can be sure that the AR goggles will be so compelling that it will sell in numbers. And of course, it will serve as yet another reason to entrench people into the Apple ecosystem, which is very lucrative, and people not only don't want to get out of it, it's very difficult to get out of the Apple ecosystem. The AR goggles also add on to Apple's growing wearables category, joining the AirPods, joining the Apple Watch. And it's very interesting to see where computing will go from here. It's starting to become more and more wearable, and reality gets more augmented. So I think Apple is in a unique position to lead the industry forward in this regard, because people want to wear things that are cool. And who's cooler than Apple nowadays? Do you want to wear Huawei earbuds or Samsung watches? No offense to those who are wearing those, but I think Apple has a strong monopoly on being a fashionable brand. Hermes thinks so I don't think you can argue with one of the biggest luxury names in the market right now. And if you are talking about upcoming products, we also cannot ignore the potential products that Apple can add to its category and join that increasingly crowded table of products. And this one might not fit on the table because it will be none other than an electric car. Now, just say electric car and most companies will get crazy valuations. So imagine if Apple releases an electric car. Now, I know that Tesla diehards will definitely say that Apple would not be able to catch up to Tesla, but that's also what smartphone makers said of iPhone when it first came out. That's what Swiss watchmakers said of Apple Watch, and that's what Intel probably thought when Apple released their own custom chip. And look what happened to all three industries that Apple entered. We know what happened to BlackBerry, of course, and Swiss watchmakers may still be around, but look at the total revenue of Apple Watch versus their industry, and Intel is struggling to play catch up to Apple, releasing a chip that is 4% better, but 250% more power hungry. Yikes. Now, cars are becoming increasingly like computers, and when we talk about computers, we cannot ignore Apple, who is a pioneer and front runner in the industry. If Apple ever decides to throw its hat into the race for EV, you can be sure they will come up with a compelling product. Now, they may not be able to win Tesla, but second place isn't too bad. And Apple doesn't need to monopolize an industry to reap record profits quarter after quarter. Now, if and when Apple finally releases its electric car, you can be sure that there will be a lot of shortcomings, and critics will jump on those shortcomings, saying that they will not be the next Tesla, Tesla will beat them, etc. But remember how Apple rolls. Apple will take its first product, make it better, release a second generation, third generation, and before you know it, it'll be a compelling product that will sell millions and millions, and the rest is history. Now, the first reason why Apple's EV can hold its own against Tesla is because of Apple's brand cachet. Now, Apple is of course one of the most valuable brands in the world. Tesla owners might be a very brand loyal bunch, but they have not yet met Apple's faithful. And Apple's faithful buy everything from iPhones, iPads, Apple Watch, and I should know because I'm one of them. And someone like me would definitely choose an Apple vehicle over Tesla, as much as Tesla is attractive right now, because Apple hasn't released their own EV. Now, the Apple ecosystem, of course, is very strong, and if an iPhone user were to face a choice between a Tesla or an Apple car that integrates seamlessly with his phone, with his iPad, with his computer, I think we know which car he's more likely to go for. Now, quite tellingly, people who review the Tesla say that it's like driving an iPhone. So what happens when an iPhone company releases a car of their own? The second reason is that Apple has technology that cannot be written off. They have put in extensive resources into developing their own custom silicon. They have done a lot of machine learning work, and I think all of this will translate into much better technology that other competitors might not have been able to bring up against Tesla. Autonomous driving will of course require a lot of computing power, a lot of machine learning work, and Apple has already spent years and years investing into these technologies, so they are not an entirely new entrant if they were to fight with Tesla's EV. And of course, Apple has very strong distribution with more than 500 stores worldwide, a very good place to showcase their car. Imagine Marina Bay Sands having an Apple car, or Apple Orchard having an Apple car for anyone to walk by and test drive. Apple is an aspirational brand and its stores reflect that, and having a car there, I think it's just gonna make the car sell so much. Let's not forget that Apple has tremendous amounts of resources at their arsenal. Now, they have been very conservative about acquisitions and so far only bought Beats for like what, $3 billion. But what's stopping them from buying an EV company for billions of dollars? They have the resources, and if they need to, I'm sure they can do it to jumpstart their EV ambitions or any other product categories they want to enter. Now, of course, before the Tesla people come and kill me, I have to say that I also own some Tesla, right? But I feel like I will increase my position in Apple because I'm more comfortable with the risk-return profile of Apple. I feel that it's a less risky proposition versus Tesla, which is crazy volatile, and I still don't quite get the valuation. So personally, I'm more towards Apple rather than Tesla for my investment portfolio. And of course, I'll buy an Apple car over a Tesla any day of the week. And you cannot discount the number of people like me who have followed Apple for a very long time over its course of 30 over years of making computers, iPods, iPhones, and eventually it will come out with a car. Now, outside the usual rumors of AR goggles or EVs, Apple still has so many product categories that they have not entered. And what's stopping them from releasing a fridge or anything that we have not even thought of? Now, it may seem ridiculous now, but within 5 to 10 years, I think the rumor mill will start to pick up about Apple entering a certain product category that none of us are even talking about right now. So just wait and see. Apple has so many product categories that it can enter, but have yet to do so. Already, Apple has dipped its toes into credit cards, and its wearables like Apple Watch are becoming more and more medical-related devices. So who knows where Apple can go from here? There are just so many possibilities that Apple, with its resources, brand, and technology, can go in and disrupt. And yeah, it's really up to Apple's imagination. So do you agree with my investment thesis, or are you a Tesla diehard and going to tell me how I'm wrong in the comments below? As usual, if you like my content, drop me a like, subscribe to my Telegram group, and do check out Mumu and Tiger for your free Apple share in the description below, and I'll see you next video.